5 systems that every real estate agent must have if you want to create predictable results, whether you're a brand new agent or selling 50 plus homes a year. System 4 you need to have transaction management. This is also where a lot of deals fall apart, right? Because if you don't have a transaction management system in place, typically you're missing deadlines. You might be missing the inspection process, the appraisal. You're doing all the work. And so this is where most deals fall apart. So you definitely want to make sure you have some sort of transaction management system in place to keep things on track. That can be reminders for yourself. So if you're basically doing all the work yourself, you make sure you have calendar reminders that remind you of when the inspection's over, when the appraisal needs to be ordered, all that stuff. You can also hire a transaction coordinator. We give a transaction coordinator to everyone that's on our team to make the process a little bit easier for agents that are within our organization. You can outsource a transaction coordinator. I know here in Arizona, typically an average price for a transaction coordinator is about $400 to $500 per transaction. So you definitely want to make sure you have some sort of transaction management in place. For example, our brokerage, we also get SkySlope, which also manages the entire transaction. But you can have different CRMs can kind of keep you on track, like with checklists, things of that nature. You can use Google Drives. There's a lot of different things that you can do to kind of keep the process on pace. But what's important is you want to make sure you have a transaction management in place, because if you don't, you run the risk of a deal falling out of contract, and that means all the work that you just did, is for nothing, right? So it's very important that you have some sort of transaction management process in place. So the platform doesn't necessarily matter as much, but making sure you have some sort of system does. And so that's more important than anything else.